Hi, hey guys, what's up? This is just gonna be a video after watching a few of the games, like in depth more, and just some of the things I noticed and things I want to add to the way we play the game. I think we do a lot of things well, but we tend to neglect some micro and some other things, and if we can just fix a lot of these small things, it'll add up, and we'll be able to really win more games. So let's get into it. Just gonna go over some of the basics from this Ascent game that we ended up losing. I think it's important to just think about things. We do a lot of good stuff, but there's also stuff that needs to be like further discussed, right? So I'll just let this round is pretty trivial. It's just a pretty standard B hit. We're gonna 4-1 towards tiles, and we're just gonna exit the site, right? So ideally, everyone knows what this should look like. It's just like the smokes go down, the jet dashes into smoke, you blind over the top, and then you flash in, right? And so I'm just gonna let the round play out. And you're starting to get up to the choke. They're not pressuring B main, so we're just gonna keep creeping up. Phoenix is gonna get the orb because he should be farming it, and then Phoenix is gonna drop down, and him and Jet are gonna double peek the choke together, right? Jet finds the entry, we break the turret, and then just gonna go in, right, with the blind over the top. Very standard, very good here. The blind doesn't hit, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, so I just yapped too long on this segment, so we could just kind of just ignore it. But basically, the point here is that for the exec, because we've done this exec so many times as practiced, everyone has a flow chart of what the exec should look like, right? It's just smoke, then entry go in, throw the any util while the jet's under smoke, and then flood the site, right? So ideally, we should be accessing this flowchart every time we exec a site, given the characters that are used in the exec. So now we're going to go into our second round. It's just like pretty calm anti-bonus. Where's the chamber? Chamber's going to find, or sorry, it's not anti, it's anti-eco. Chamber's going to find the kill, and then he's going to die, and he's going to relay that there's 3 people here, and then the reaction is going to be a speed up B, and it's a very standard round, and then we win the round. Now I want to talk about this third round, which is the bonus round, their anti-bonus round, right? So we are 1 off Phoenix Orb here, and we see that we are just going to grab the orb here, fight for it. So I think I don't really, I'll let the round play out a bit. The jet's going to dash out, we're going to get Phoenix Orb, and then we're going to send sight. We're going to find the trades here, Chamber's going to die mid, and we're going to eventually convert the round. But there's a lot of weird moving parts to this round. First and foremost, like, if we have no problem making noise here, because at the end of the day, Phoenix is going to grab the orb, right? So if Phoenix is going to grab the orb here, we should be using util to get this I don't know why they're biased. That's fine, the rest fine. We should be using util to get this A main space, right? And that is going to come in the form of either a Phoenix blind or a KO blind, rather than walking up and contacting this. Because if this jet is better, she kills someone, potentially even the Phoenix, and then our main way to win this round is lost, right? So we need to be more deliberate in our actions, right? And then, what is the site exec supposed to look like from a theoretical perspective, right? It should be based on the 4 champs here. Jet is you're gonna put the Omen smokes down first. Jet's gonna dash into her smoke. Her smoke is probably either gonna be top gen, or it's gonna be just front sight, something like that here, right? And then Omen is gonna potentially either paranoia gen, or if Jet's dashing gen side, he's just gonna run in after that, and KO is gonna blind over the top, over the top of sight. Now let's see how much of that actually happens here. We're gonna go in. Phoenix is gonna go in. I'm not sure if we blinded. Jet is not going to smoke and dash in. It's just going to get shit on. We didn't throw any KO blinds. We didn't throw any KO util. The KO is running in with the Phoenix, pulling out his nade when there's an imminent threat on site, isn't going to shoot the dart. Omen is going to go in, get the first kill, hit a nice shot on the jet, and then he's not going to shoot the dart either. The dart's going to scan both. They're not going to be punished for it because the other team doesn't have anyone in the smoke heaven, but if they did, also the smoke heaven is really suspicious. You just lose the round here, right? So it's just like it's not clean at all, And then we're going to fight the Sova. We're going to not kill him with the Phoenix Soul, but we're going to kill him with the trade. And then we're going to go back. Chamber is starting to get pinched here by the Astra and the Breach. Chamber is going to ping that there's 2 here. And then the immediate reaction to this should be to take space and fight. So Omen's going to plant, and then he's going to blind Heaven, and he's kind of just going to go by himself, and he's going to make the play here. And this is probably the round-winning play here, just based off the situation that we had at that point in time, which is the fact that, like, there's 2 people crunching mid. We should try to fight Heaven. Ideally, someone can fight with Omen Heaven, but it's fine. It works out, right? And then the round gets converted, right? But you should see like how sloppy the execs are because people just aren't doing what they should be doing. Like, we didn't dash in on Jet. We didn't KO blind over the top as playing KO. We didn't really do anything. Like if we're gonna paranoid, we should. If not, it's fine. We didn't shoot the dart. We didn't smoke properly. Like these are all minor things that add up. And when you don't do a bunch of small things properly, you're gonna lose the round and you're gonna lose the game. Here it is in a more like flowcharty format. You might think that this is something super trivial, but if it is super trivial, then why doesn't it happen every time? I invite you to go watch your own gameplay and see if you're throwing abilities frequently enough and doing it enough to support your own team. Alright, so here's another round. I don't think it's like okay. We're gonna start with Chamber. Chamber's gonna peek top mid. He's gonna C2. He's gonna somehow not die, thankfully. He's gonna get breach stunned somewhere from Cat, I think he can assume. So we start off the round kind of knowing that KJ Sovar double holding down mid, and breaches somewhere cat, right? It's not too bad. There's not a lot we can really do about it because we assume that KJ is just gonna pop her mollies and shit. We can also can't really assume that B site's open, like there could be someone else anchoring. So once again, we think about what this exec should look like. It should look like Jett dashing into her smoke, KO blinding over the top, Phoenix blinding out, and then Omen smoke should already be down, and then yeah, things that will stop us from doing this. KJ Util, we tried to knife her, we did a knife her. Sova dart, because we know he's in the area, we just saw him, and we have to get ready to shoot this dart, right? And so because we have to shoot the dart, it's important to think about whose job it is to shoot Util, right? It's the people who aren't the duelists, so probably not Phoenix and Jett, unless Jett can smoke the dart somehow. But we're gonna KO blind in. It's not the best KO blinds, but it will do. KO is gonna run in first. Jett is not gonna be out yet. What else is going on? Phoenix is out after third, which is fine, I guess. We're not gonna be able to shoot the dart. No one, I think, like Omen's gonna try to look for the dart and he's just gonna get fucked, you know? Just because it just looks so disjoint, man. Like why are we not dashed out on and trying to close the door, you know? Like we're all just W king into lane, even though we have like a space creator. Like doesn't make any sense. It's a little awkward with like the mollies and things like that. But it's just like the process isn't right here. So Omen's gonna get spammed, and then I was yapping too long, so let me just say everything concisely. Ideally, the exec should look like this. We know what the exec is. We've execed Ascent site a million times, right? But it doesn't look like this. And the reason why that's an issue is because now KO and Omen are in no man's land. They're out in front, and the dart goes behind them, and it's their responsibility, but they can't shoot the dart because they're in front, because they don't do the spacing properly. So they get scanned by the dart and die. In addition to that, as a duelist, you should be well aware of your entry pathing and what it should look like. So Jett, who for some reason doesn't have her dash, making her a useless character, should first have her dash. In addition to that, what does Jett do on the B exec? She dashes switch into her smoke, she fights the immediate close area, and then she scales through stairs, and she fights stairs, right? Because you want them to look stairs, and then they get scared about lane if they're playing on site. Jett running and throwing a smoke at the ground and then running lane is clear that she's not thinking about her process. She doesn't have a process to go by on her entry, and that is why we lose, because we neglect spacing and we don't go off the plans that we thought of before the round started. There's going to be a macro element to the round, but micro, you need to think about what you want to achieve on the site exec. So Jett wants to get to switch, she wants to close the door, she wants to fight close, she wants to go stairs. Omen wants to smoke, he wants to run out, he wants to shoot the Sova util, and he wants to get the trades, you know? So if someone is stopping you from doing this, you need to ask them to stop or change what they're doing so that you can exec. You know, these conversations need to be had. Clearly the fact that Jett's running out into her site without a smoke and then running lane where there should probably be KJ util means that she hasn't thought about her exec and she's not thinking before she runs in. She's just hoping everything works out, and that's never going to be consistent. You're never going to win like that. All right, so this is just what I think you should take away from this video. Individually thinking about like what your exec should look like for you, like what do you have to do, what util are you going to throw, what util are you going to shoot, and then in case it's not working, retroactively thinking about why it doesn't work and how we can get it to work. And then here's a checklist that you can go through after every round, thinking about the util that you threw and if it was good, and if you didn't throw it, why not, and just something to help you elevate and be a better team player. So we want to take A main space. We know this Jett really likes to contest A main. And in addition to that, we know that we're split 3-2 across the map. So this round is not going to be a fast round, right? So does it make sense to commit util here to take the space, or does it make sense to kind of sneak around and try to contact this, right? Let's find out. We're just gonna like stand there, and the Jett's gonna take her freebie, and she's gonna get her kill and dash out, right? And it's just like such malpractice, you know? Like this round is never gonna be like a fast round, you know, barring them just running it down and inting, right? So why do we not just use util? Like this Jett's gonna peek off some random timing, like make it more difficult for her, you know? Like she's gonna have to peek through a blind and kind of just if we blind and she knows there's people holding, like it's just like a more difficult tilt for her to get, you know, but we don't do anything. We just walk around despite the fact that like there's no point walking here, you know, not to like rage or anything, but I think at the beginning of the round, if you're playing in the pack, which is like the group that wants to execute, you should hardly ever be shift walking in a group, you know, because our goal here is to take A main space, and it's not going to be a fast round here. Like we're also working B main to get Phoenix the orb and stuff, so there's no point in like shift walking and sneaking around and playing quietly A main, you know. Ultimately, when you play against these types of characters every game, there's going to be characters like Jett, Chamber, Vito, Reyna that are fighting off barrier against you into the choke, right? So you need to dislodge these characters off round start because good teams have them on the barrier. So in order to take the space consistently, you're not just going to try to force the 1vx on them, right? Because if the moment they get one, they're probably out of there, right? You need to use util to make it harder, right? If you blind this Jett and you delay her peak, she starts to get worried that people have already crossed to the other side of A main, and it makes it the peak harder for her, you know? So we just have to like think when it's useful and when we're getting value out of shift walking.